Hey Frugivore, welcome back to the Frugivore Diet channel. So today we are going to react to me controlling Miles's diet from Healthy Crazy Cool for a day. I controlled his diet. I got him on the Frugivore diet. Well, he contacted me and he thought it was a great video collab for him to do the Frugivore diet for a day. And I'm like, yes, this is great exposure. Fantastic. So we're going to see how he went. I'm going to give my honest feedback on how he went on the Frugivore diet for the day. And by the way, I'm not wearing makeup. I'm wearing what I'm going to show you is like a fruit makeup. So I guess it is sort of a little bit makeup-ish, but I want to show you how to transition from, this stuff that you just buy to making your own with fruit, like fruit-based makeup, which is, I think, awesome. I'm open to wearing some like beetroot and some berries and stuff like that mixed with like coconut oil on your face. Like if you want to, like adding a bit of color if you really, really want to, but you probably find that you don't want to, but I think it's a great transition all the same. So if you want to see that, let us know in the comments below and I'll bring that video as well, the fruit-based makeup. So a little bit of a backstory on myself and Miles. I didn't actually know who Miles was until some of you told me about his videos where he was basically disagreeing with me, okay? Disagreeing me and being a bit spicy towards me and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, cool. A lot of people like that. But then he contacted me and thanked him for me bringing him to veganism. So I was like, yeah, cool. That's great. I'm so glad you care about animals. And then we have been speaking over WhatsApp. I don't know him in person, but we've been having a great interaction over the last almost maybe a year, I'd say. So that's been really cool. It's been great getting to know him, and I think he has a really quirky, cool personality. And yeah, so today we're going to check out how he goes on the Frugivore diet. So let's get into it. Okay, Frugivore, here we are on Miles's channel, Healthy Crazy Cool. He has 251,000 subscribers, and my voice is a bit croaky because I just woke up. It's early in the morning, so hopefully it's not too painful to listen to. So this is the first time I've reviewed a video of Miles's, and I don't think he wants me to do that. I don't think he wants me to look at his diet like I do with everybody, but I want him to know, and I want everyone to know that it's not something personal against him. Okay, it's not something personal. Very important to make this distinction. It's just about the diet. Okay, so we need to separate those two and not take it as personal attack and stuff like that. And we both agreed when we were making these videos that we were going to review each other, of course, honestly, because that's what I do, right? I'm just honest. You know that. So, this is going to be an honest review, and it doesn't reflect on, how I feel about him as a human. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this video is me controlling his diet for 24 hours. So I let Freely control my diet for 24 hours, the Frugivore diet, So it's had over 61,000 views in 6 days or a week or so, which is great, which means the algorithm is actually doing its job and putting his video out there. And hopefully we can get back to that point. We will get back there, right? We will get that back there. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's start the video. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I did leave a comment down here and Miles pinned it. That's great. And there's a lot of sweet comments, and it's kind of refreshing to go to the comment section and see, just comments that aren't beating up myself and the lifestyle. I don't care because I don't take it personally, but I'm still human. And it still kind of makes me feel warm inside to see these comments. So anyway, let's get into it.
I was going to say that Freely is one of the most, if not the most controversial vegan in the world, but I think beyond that, she's one of the most controversial humans in the world.
Hey, Miles, It's Freely. Yes. Happy rising. So I'm very excited today because I get to control your diet for the day. Mm-hmm. Are you nervous?
Yeah, so I reached out to Freely a couple weeks ago and I was like, do you know what? Yeah. Do you want to just control my diet? Do you want to just take control of me for 24 hours?
Yes.
So here we are.
20 medjool dates.
Juicy. They are fat ones. Good. Very good. By the way, look, I want to watch this entire thing, and I have a bit of a problem, okay? I have a bit of this problem within me where I want to watch everything and I want to comment on everything. I have so much to say over the 14 years that I've been doing this lifestyle, so I've learned a lot, all right? So I'm going to have to cut this a lot because it is 30 minutes. So it's going to be hard for me because I want to say everything and I want you to listen to everything, but it would be over an hour. So I'm going to see how I go, all right? Medjool dates, all right? 20 dates.
Soaking my 20 giant medjool dates ready for my Datorade in the morning. I'm actually
Yeah, so the soaking of the dates is great, okay? Soak the dates. It just makes them like softer, easier to blend, more hydrated, even better for
Well
you.
excited.
Are we filming?
He's excited.
No, we're filming. I really can't get comfy on this chair. It gets to the point where I
So I'm going to include a little bit of this because Miles does talk about what veganism actually is, and I think that's fantastic. So
don't even know what to do with this lion's mane. But anyways, this video is definitely a big celebration of fruit. I feel spiritually connected to it, you know?
yes.
On such a deep level. I mean, would I have a permanent watermelon tattoo on my arm if that wasn't true? No. You guys have been requesting this challenge.
And see, I mean, that's a reason, right? There's a reason we feel spiritually connected to our biologically perfect food source. So we go and eat it. You know what I mean? That's an important thing. And I feel that too. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that. Let me know in the comments. Don't you feel spiritually connected to fruit? I love it.
If that's what you want to call it, since day dot, I love fruit. I could live off fruit. I've said that so many times. But I also eat a lot of fat. Like a lot of fat, you know? I mean, you guys all know. You know, I consume probably 2 avocados a day. I consume industrial quantities of tahini.
Okay. So you know how I feel about this, and you know I'm going to be honest, I don't support high-fat diets because it doesn't support the human frugivore's health. There is volumes of research on this. You know, you don't even need the research. You can just do the test yourself. It just doesn't feel good to eat like a high-fat diet. It depends on how much fat he's talking about, but like I said, industrial quantities of tahini. So what I think is Miles is probably averaging out his fat intake to be lower over the course of the week. You know, he does put up weekly videos where he shows himself, you know, with a bit of a food porn, you know, ones that are like more of kind of cheat day looking, in my opinion. And he probably he has less fat on other days and probably averages out to a lot less fat than it may look like if he ate every single day that one day a week, if you know what I'm saying. So that's just a feeling I get.
So whilst I love eating a lot of fruit,
Which is good, of course, because then it makes his health, it's better for his health, because it's not reflected in nature for the human frugivore that we would have a high-fat diet.
I love eating a lot of fruit, and I find it one of the most just satisfying and delicious things to eat. And I've eaten that way pretty much my whole life. Even before I knew about veganism, when I was competing in sport, I always ate a very high fruit diet. I was just naturally drawn towards it. I mean, I guess Freedy would say it's because I'm a frugivore, so...
Yes. Yes, I would. Of course, we're naturally drawn to our ideal fuel source, you know what I mean? Because we want to survive. Like the organism's like, yeah, well, that is your food. I mean, it's like a rainbow, so many different colors. You can try a different fruit every day for the rest of your life, and you still won't try all the fruits nature has to offer you as a human frugivore. Isn't that freaking amazing? So.
Let's see if I am. I'm committed to this challenge, and we're going to do it. Giving myself a pep talk right now because I already feel the tahini withdrawals hitting me. And it's not even noon yet. The thing is, I haven't always agreed with everything that Freedy has said or promoted in the past. I mean, I don't think I agree with everything that anyone says completely. I just kind of have my own mind about everything, and that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't so much agree when it comes to what's our biologically designed diet. Of course, that's one that there's not much wiggle room there. We can't argue too much about that. But when it comes to other things, yeah, sure, we can have disagreements. I have it with a lot of people and it's fine.
The reason I turned vegan was because of Freely. I knew about veganism way before that, right? I was plant-based for many years, but I didn't make that full-on connection of, oh my gosh, you know, we're talking about the lives of sentient beings until Freely literally, you know, shoved it in my face with her message. This is years and years and years back, but her
that's fantastic. Like, I'm so glad that he's talking about this, about actual veganism, you know, animal
message was so powerful that I literally went vegan overnight. As soon as I really understood what was going on in the world, I just couldn't support that anymore.
I mean, that sound like Bonnie Rebecca for a moment. Once I knew what was happening, I couldn't support it anymore. But Miles is actually stepping up and being honorable and having integrity and actually sticking to like what he's saying. He can't support it anymore. He's telling us the truth. Bonnie Rebecca is just like paying lip service, obviously, and now she's like eating fried chicken. And Miles told me she's even like writing some meaty book, which is just disgusting. You know, how to hurt animals, how to cook them up.
Everything that she promotes, I really, really fucking respect her for that. Freedy, you might hate me for saying this and exposing you a little bit because on camera, you know, she comes across as such a badass, but off camera, getting to know her a little bit over the last few months, she's an absolute sweetheart, and I have so much respect that she literally dedicates her life to the cause of saving the lives of animals.
Oh, thank you. Aha, I got him fooled on the sweetie part, didn't I? He thinks I'm a sweetie. I'm really not. That is very sweet of you. And thank you for the recognition. Thank you for the recognition. I mean, like, that's what I do. That's what I'm here for. I want everybody to get it that we're just not designed to eat animals. You know, that's just not how we are hooked up down there. All right. And obviously, it's just not kind. Like, why would you do it? It's gross. It's weird. Just leave the animals alone. Thank you, Miles.
The sentient beings that we share the planet with. So, yeah, the thing is, the diet that she promotes is obviously seen by most people as extremely extreme. It's definitely very different to the way that I normally.
And of course, things are going to be seen as extreme in a sick world, right? It's normal. It's kind of like no one blinks an eyelid when people eat McDonald's meals that are made of no real food. But when you eat like a 10 banana smoothie, you're just like a complete weirdo. You can see what's going on here, right? You don't want to be seen as part of this sick crowd, this sick society. Be a fringe dweller, be proud to be different because you're trailblazing. Honestly, you in the comments, you're leading this world to a better place. We need to just remember that, you know? And when you see people trashing myself and the diet and everything like that, remember that they are just comparing it to the mainstream and going, oh, she's a weirdo. This is extreme. La, la, la. You get that, you know?
So I did tell Freely that on average, I eat about 3,500 calories a day, which I know is a lot for most people. But please remember that I have a metabolism that is faster than, I don't really know what to say it's faster than, but
He's so funny. He is funny. I have got to know Miles, and like I do like his quirky little edgy, the style. I do. He's funny. When it comes to metabolism, you know how I feel like this, in the way of being naturally born with a high metabolism, like that's not true. This is all, the way I feel about it. And I'm not saying he's saying he was naturally born with it, but he does exercise a lot. I think he's a self-confessed exercise addict, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but he exercises a lot. He went to Wimbledon. He is like a pro athlete, basically. So, yeah, you have to keep that in mind. Of course, he's going to burn a lot of calories.
It's just very fast. I need a lot of food. And on top of that, I also exercise frequently. So, yeah, Freely has created me a diet plan based on the amount of calories that I need. Again, I don't count calories. I don't really care about calories. I just eat as much as I care for. And I think the one...
Yeah, and like... I agree. I mean, and that's what I do, but I do like to show people how to eat enough, not to restrict. Obviously, that's why I talk about calories. I just get enough, So
one of the things that has always satisfied me with my meals in the past, or just currently, is the inclusion of fat and protein. So it's going to be interesting, even though I'm going to be eating large volume, calorically dense meals, is it actually going to fill me up? Will I feel satisfied? At the end of this video...
Yeah, so fat and protein, there is adequate fat and protein in fruits and veggies, nuts and seeds. Okay, there is, but it's been very inflated, the protein obsession with the society, and there's industry influence on even the RDAs. Okay, you have to remember that. It's inflated, and we will talk more about that.
Make it a bit more exciting. I'm going to put everything through Chronometer that I eat in this day, and it will be...
Yeah, so... Miles didn't actually tell me he was going to put it into Chronometer. So I didn't give him exacts, minimums and stuff like that. I didn't give him like measurements, or I would have if he did, but he didn't tell me. So it's fine. That's fine. And we're going to talk about that later.
Very interesting to see. I mean, I haven't followed a completely raw living foods diet ever. So it'll be really interesting to see what the spectrum of nutrients comes out like in Chronometer as well. Anyway, let's do this. So...
Yeah, Chronometer. Okay, we'll talk more about that. Breakfast. Let's break the fast, shall we? So it's important to have something hydrating, something sweet, something juicy, something full of fuel. So I suggest you want to try the Datorade. So I suggest you have a strawberry Datorade, and that should be delicious, okay? Oh, wow, that was so annoying how I said delicious. I just had to stop that. Because you said you do have a lot of strawberries around at the moment, but it's probably going to be better having frozen strawberries. So like a bag of frozen strawberries. That is a good combo with about 20 dates. Best to soak those dates as well, and have some coconut water. Get some fresh coconut. It's going to be probably about 1,200 calories, I would say. So when I say 1,200 calories, okay, I need to clarify this. I'm basing that amount of calories on 50 calories per medjool date. And this is something that I've arrived to, and those I've been kind of close to have arrived to when it comes to dates. So they're not like 70 plus calories like they put on the box. They're actually more like 50. So that's why this breakfast is around 1,200 calories, because it's not like based on what they put on the box or Chronometer, because I don't just like depend on Chronometer for absolutely everything, because it is really prone to inaccuracies.
Is 20 soaked giant medjool dates that I soaked last night in preparation for my Datorade.
The thing is, I've never had a Datorade before. When I eat fruit, I naturally gravitate more towards the really water-rich fruits, because I feel like, especially after...
I'm so surprised that he's never had a Datorade. I'm like, man, where have you been living? What is going on?
After exercise, they're just like extra hydrating. Watermelon, cantaloupe melon, papaya if it's good, mango, apples, all that kind of stuff. But...
I did want to include mangoes, but Miles said they weren't so reliable right now. So
having a 20-date smoothie, I can't even imagine how sweet this is going to be. So I wanted to say that with the meals today, I'm going to film myself eating every single mouthful and do a time lapse. Because I know that these meals are kind of very, well, for normal people, they're very abnormal. I couldn't find an actual coconut, so I bought this. This is the raw coconut water.
Oh, some of them can be terrible. Some of them can be so bad. But I'm not sure where Miles is live. That's a shame that he couldn't find an actual coconut. Yeah. If you live where he lives, maybe let us know in the comments below where you can actually get like real coconuts, because it's obviously better than the
From Rebel Kitchen. Never tried this one before. I'm not actually the biggest fan of coconut water. I feel like it tastes like those rehydration sachets that I was forced to drink when I was like cramping in sport and stuff. I don't know.
100% agree. They can be terrible.
These soaked dates are so squishy. They kind of remind me of prunes. I'm going to taste the date water to see how sweet it is. Woo. Oh my lord, that is sweet. So these again are 20 big medjool dates. Pitted, of course. Have made that mistake.
Oh no, I feel bad. I didn't tell him to put the actual water in there too. That was my bad there, because that's so sweet and that's full of nutrients right there they were soaking out. So,
before can end up in tragedy. Do you know what? Because it is so sweet and that would be such a waste. I'm going to put a little bit in. Got some frozen straws. Couldn't find organic, but these will do.
At least you got a few in. You got a little bit of the juice.
This coconut water is actually pink. That's actually really nice. Really nice.
Good.
And it's blend.
He's showing you how to make the perfect strawberry Datorade here. You should try it. So for those of you also interested in the frugivore diet, this is basically there's a rundown of the frugivore diet basically in Go Fruit Yourself that I wrote many years ago. And you can get, there's a link to the ebook. You can just straight away download, change your life forever and do the lifestyle properly. But there's going to be another book coming. It's going to be much different and just going to pour my passion into it, but it's going to take a while. So this is a great one in the meantime. And the physical book is almost available on Amazon very soon, but the ebook is available now. So check it out. If you want to get lean, fit, healthy for life and have stable weight, which is amazing, and not have ridiculous cravings or need caffeine or, stimulants or anything like that. Check it out.
Oh, look at that though.
That looks beautiful, right? The consistency, Miles, I have to give you a big round of applause because the consistency is fantastic.
So frothy.
This is the sweetest thing I've ever tasted. It reminds me of something. Don't know what it is, but it's absolutely beautiful.
Strawberry milkshake, probably.
Guys, this is gonna become a regular for me. This is absolutely delicious. No.
So he wrote, spoke too soon, Miles. Okay, so he said it's going to become a regular for him. He loves that a lot.
If I was left to my own devices, I would usually add fat, right? Even to a mix like this that has 20 dates, I would add something like hemp seeds or almond butter, peanut butter.
It's just not ideal for the transfer of the sugar into the cell. If the fat is going to be it acts like an insulator. It's going to be lining the insulin receptor site. It's going to be interrupting that flow. So if you add that, it's not ideal because fruit like dates, like any whole food, it is a perfect package within itself. Okay. It contains the fat. It contains the protein. I mean, it's all about just getting variety, I'm not saying you should eat dates forever. That's adequate. Just only dates, but it is a whole food, is a whole package. So you need to remember that it actually does have fat in it.
Because for me, it's just a lot more satisfying But having said that, I've never drank 20 dates with strawberries, with coconut water in one go before. So cheers.
I just find creamy smoothies really satisfying to like slurp down with a soup spoon.
Yeah. I mean, like, why would you need like a cappuccino, you know, with the froth on the top? Just blend up a Datorade. Delicious.
I'm not sure why. Actually, I am sure why, because you get all the frothy bits on top. Gonna do a bit of editing while I slurp. Let the time lapse begin.
I can see that, like, he's sucking it down. Like, he's like, I don't think he's chewing at all. And I should have told him that to, you know, chew your smoothie. It is important to chew your smoothie because you're mixing the fluids. You know, you're mixing your enzymes. You're helping like the digestion of it in your mouth. You know, digestion starts in the mouth, so you need to like kind of just like chew it a little bit. So you got those digestive enzymes helping out. So yeah, it's better if he doesn't have it with a straw, ideally, or he can chew it.
If you ever need a sweet fix in the morning, just blend up dates, berries, all that kind of stuff. Again, for me, even to that mix, I would probably add in some hemp seeds or a little bit of almond butter, because if I'm being honest, I gulped that down pretty quickly too. So I feel quite full, but not completely satisfied. It'll be interesting.
So he gulped it down really quickly, and I don't recommend that. And I think he knows that, you know, I don't recommend that. But I think he did it like in 5 minutes or something, he said. So obviously that's not ideal, okay? For your digestion and everything, that's not going to be fantastic.
Interesting to see how long it takes for me to get hungry again, considering that was a large meal, a high calorie meal, but just fruit and no overt fats, which, yeah, I mean, I don't usually do. I mean, I do when I'm just eating fruit whole, but in smoothies, I always add fat or raw vegan protein powder.
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people add this, but it's unnecessary. It is absolutely unnecessary. And I just want to make a comment on the calories. You do know that I said they're 50 calories each, so he wasn't getting as much as he thought he was, so he might need more.
It's just a lot more satisfying for me, so I could really eat meal number 2 right now, but I'm going to wait. I've got to that point where I'm kind of craving something savory, but can't have it yet.
Okay, so of course, when you're coming from eating, you know, a lot of cooked, you're having a lot of savory, having a lot of sodium, spices and stuff like that, then yes, you're going to have that initial, you know, draw to it. You know, you're going to have that like withdrawal from that. You have to remember it. So it's not like it's a failure or anything. It's just like, yeah, you're having some withdrawals and it's going to take time. All right. There is some adaptation period, of course.
I always do that. Like I always start with sweet fruits and then like move on to something savory. I do still think that everyone should.
He's used to doing that. Yeah.
Should include a lot of whole, fresh fruit in their diet. It's those kind of people that avoid fruit that then feel the need to eat desserts, sweets, candies, refined carbohydrates.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, that is true, right? And he said, which I eat sometimes because I enjoy them. My desire for sweet food is satisfied. No, but see, that's the thing. He's eating that. He's eating the refined ones because in that moment he needed sweet fruits. He kind of identified that already himself. And even when I do that, and I've done it in the past, I needed sweet fruits then. I didn't need refined sweets because if we're in nature, what would we have chosen? Sweet fruits, of course. And we enjoy them because they're like sweet fruit, but it's fake fruit.
But it really is true, and I know from personal experience, as someone that used to be completely addicted to refined sugar when I was younger, that eating enough whole, fresh fruit really dampens that craving for you know, more junkier processed foods. I mean, it definitely does for me.
That's right. And like a natural vegan needs to really take notice of that. Swayze needs to really take notes on that because, you know, when she's going for these like chocolate protein bars with like artificial sweetener and she's eating artificial sweetener, like that's just her craving for sweet fruit as a frugivore. So I suggest that you snack whenever you want. Eat whenever you want. Eat as much fruit as you care for, your favorite fruit at the moment. And if you're out and about or even at home, you can have date and coconut rolls. Have a little box of date and coconut rolls. That's going to be about maybe 600 calories or so.
He said that if I wanted to snack, which you guys know, I'm really not a snacker. Like I have big meals and I feel like because my meals are so satisfying, I just don't feel the need to snack. Of course,
If you eat enough fruit, okay, so you need to remember this. If you eat enough fruit in a meal, you will not feel like snacking. Okay, you just won't. So if Miles didn't feel satisfied from the Datorade, then he was like, he didn't eat enough. It's just, that's how it is. You know, you need to get enough calories in so to feel satisfied. Every human I've ever met has been satisfied on fruit meals. So it's important to remember that. Okay, and So with the snacking, I just recommended that as like another meal, basically, like to get more calories. So that was around
If I
600.
want a snack, I will. And usually, ironically, it would be fruit. But again, my main meals wouldn't just be fruit. But yeah, Freedy said to snack on date and coconut balls, which I couldn't find. And I didn't
Rolls,
make
yeah.
because I'm very lazy. But I do have an alternative, which I hope will be acceptable. These are the Naked bars. I'm pretty sure all of you have heard of them. Ingredients are dates, cashews, raisins, almonds, blueberries, and that's it.
So a little bit more of the fat there, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but it's got some other nuts and seeds. But I really, of course, I wanted him to like eat the like date and coconut rolls. But if he can't, then okay, cool. But it should be based, what's put on in Chronometer should be based on what I recommended. So that's important to make a note. But that, I don't know, that Naked blueberry muffin, I'm sure it's not too bad.
I'm going to have a couple of these as a snack.
So if you don't feel satisfied after your meal of fruit, you eat more fruit because you're a human frugivore.
Insane. And these blueberry muffin ones,
That looks very small, that little thing there.
they're pretty insane too, and they taste exactly like a blueberry muffin, but healthy. Speaking of snacks, I picked up these. I don't even know if these are technically raw. These are freeze-dried strawberry slices.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're raw because they're probably
Usually they are.
dehydrated. Kind of dry and crispy. And very delicious.
I have some leftover sushi rice that I made last night when I was kind of putting a big bowl together. And you know what? I just want to dive in with like some sweet chili sauce or...
But see, that's the thing. He wants to dive in with sweet chili sauce. You don't really just want to dive in with the rice, do you? Because it's starch-based. Like it's not sweet. It doesn't have this fructose that you need as a human frugivore. So then Miles just verified that by saying, I want to put sweet on it. I want to put this sweet chili on it. So it's important, that he just needs more fruit now. But he's used to eating this way. So of course, he's still going to desire it, which is fine.
a bit of sriracha and avocado.
But I'm staying true to the cause, and it's just going to be fruit till dinner. And this next meal, I'm pretty excited about because I love banana ice cream.
Cool.
But I've never had 10 bananas. Probably the most bananas I've had before in an ice cream is probably like 5, 6. Then I would add other things and like berries, and then
This is going to blow you away then. This is great for your glycogen stores. Get it in.
top it with, like coconut, hemp seeds, almond butter, all that kind of stuff. But today we're staying true to the cause, and it's going to be, what is it going to be? I forgot.
I mean, like, you can put hemp seeds on it. It's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal, but it's better to hold off the overt fats for later on. It's not because I want to be like the bringer of bad like vibes or something, and be that person who's like, no, you can't eat that, and like it's really bad for you or something. It's not like that. It's just about good, better, best, and it's just the best to have your whole food to get like the fruit. It is providing you with that nutrition that you need. You can have greens as well. They combine well together. Some seeds, yeah, sure, but just not too much,
Back to freely.
So lunch, I do suggest an ice cream, but I was thinking it's going to be too cold for you, but you did say you want to get into an ice cream. So I think that's going to be fine. Just maybe wait till it gets to room temperature. It's up to you. All right. So 10 bananas plus 5 dates and ice cream with a topping of your choice. Like, you can have berries again, whatever you like on top. You can do like a carob sauce, and you can top it with some sesame seeds. I like the whole seed rather than the tahini so much, but tahini is okay here and there. Here and there. That was a moment. Of course. I felt that.
I'm definitely going to make the carob sauce, so I'm going to blend some.
I mean, like, I've had tahini on, I think I've even showed myself having tahini on ice cream. It is delicious. It is nice. It is like tasty. Okay. I just want to give you what's best, and you can have that. You can have it, just see how you feel, your energy. It just can stop you from getting as much carbohydrates if you fill up on the higher fat, which is less healthy, and digestion. You'll feel it,
Carob powder. I would usually use cocoa powder, cacao powder, but Freedy's not a fan of that, so I'm doing.
I just want to quickly give my opinion on the cacao powder. I just want to give you, I should not give you this experience right now probably, but I just want to quickly. My last experience with cacao, basically, like one of the worst was when I had it before a running race in like 2006, I believe, early 2006, had it before a running race, like maybe a couple of dessert spoons, and I had diarrhea the whole time. I had to stop in those portaloos on the side and just like, I'm sorry. It was horrible. And I actually had one of my personal training clients there who was like less fit than me and actually just kicked my ass because of this cacao just causing me so much digestive distress. It's basically a neurotoxin. Okay, it's not something you should have. Have carob. Okay, it has theobromine. It has caffeine in it. I've got a highlight pinned on my page. Go and check it out. It says cacao on my Instagram at Freely the Banana.
I'm told. Gonna blend some carob. I'm gonna blend some carob. That's a total of, depending on how much I use in the sauce, 28 dates.
Okay, great. I know it might seem like, I don't know, excessive or something like that. But of course it's not. When we just compare it to the junky concentrated foods people are eating, even plant foods, these junky overly processed foods, like it's still like far better nutrition. It's whole food. And we, as frugivores, we need to eat large quantity. We're big animals. We need to feed ourselves enough. And I only recommend the Datorade because he wanted to try it. So I could have recommended something else and given him even more variety, but yeah, sometimes it works out that way, and I want it to be accessible for everyone. Most of you can buy a box of dates. Craving savory so badly.
Again, I have no idea how.
He needed to eat more fruit, but he could easily have added greens if he wanted, but I didn't say that, of course, but he could have. But it was just like a single day, so I didn't give him like everything exact, and because it varies over time. Your health status should be assessed over time, not just one day, or like what you eat over one day, the nutrient profile.
I'm supposed to use this, but maybe a little bit more. 3 dates and some water. Oh my god, that's good. It tastes like a hot chocolate, but cold. Well, room temperature.
Carob can be amazing. Get the carob in. Okay.
Giant bowl of vanilla ice cream.
Wow. He did really good on that consistency. I actually gave Miles a bit of shit on his one of his other ice creams because it looked a little sloppy and stuff, but it probably was just a bit melted because he didn't want to eat it like fully frozen. But look, I take that back, Miles. You're doing really good on this one.
Trust me, it tastes good.
Wow. Come on. Like, who would not want to eat dessert for lunch? For me, I'm like, dessert for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Give it to me. Naturally. Whoa.
Guys, would you look?
He even looked like he was in his training shorts. He trains a lot. So he needs a lot of carbs. And like I said, I think his fat intake is definitely a lot lower than what it looks on these single days. So that looks great.
It's basically just like a big bowl of healthy ice cream with chocolate sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, most people wouldn't because it's 10 fucking bananas, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to this.
I mean, like, I even looked it up on Chronometer the other day for like a big breakfast or something at McDonald's, and it's like 1,300 calories. But no one blinks an eyelid at that. But if you say 10 bananas, which is whole food and has this spectrum of nutrition, then it's like, oh, you're crazy. But if you have this big breakfast, you're like completely normal. And that just shows we're living in a crazy world.
Oh shit, I forgot to put the sesame seeds on top. How could I? My favorite part.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would actually
See, he just forgot about them because he was enjoying it so much. So he didn't even think he needed it.
kill for a drizzle of runny tahini on this, but
Yeah,
I guess the black sesame seeds will do. Cheers.
You definitely could. And like, I designed this day to be a little bit fattier than usual. Okay. So because I wanted to, I know he is, pushing the fat quite a bit, and I wanted it to be like more kind of relatable for him. And a drizzle of tahini would have been fine. Yeah. Whoa. Come on. He's making me want a banana ice cream right now. I'm so proud of Miles. Like, he has really made everything look delicious, and he's been enjoying himself the whole time. Like, and just, yeah, it's great. It's great to see him getting in the fruit, getting in the carbs, and doing the challenge.
This is bomb. It tastes absolute bomb. I mean, who doesn't love an ice cream, especially with a chocolate sauce? But this is just too much of the same thing. Like, I could happily carry on eating fruit, but I'm just craving something different, but it's absolutely fucking delicious.
Well, that's the thing, because he's used to eating these like concentrated, savory, processed foods, so he's craving something different. I mean, he can put in things like, mulberries in there. He can put in like some whatever he wants, basically like dried fruit, he can add more of that. But when it's a whole food, it's meeting our needs better. Okay. And it can take time to get used to it for sure. You know, it takes around 2 weeks for your taste buds to change. You get a new set of taste buds. So that would help a lot. But you just need to eat large quantity because that's how we're designed to. Our stomach sac is designed to eat large volume. So we need to fill it.
Something salty, you know? You want something salty, man. Even just some like salty cucumber, like dunked in tahini.
So he wants some salty. He's saying he wants some salty. He can definitely put like, if he really wants like PB2 powder or something in that. I mean, like that is not raw, but I mean, if he really wants something salty, but you can see it's a withdrawal. It's a withdrawal from how he has been eating. And I swear you will get over that and you'll be just like, I don't want it I just don't care. You know, like it's pretty amazing. Okay. So things change. Remember that.
Based on flavor, I give that mix a 10 out of 10. I mean, clear.
Good. He gave it a 10 out of 10. Let's move on. Brain freeze.
Where was I going with that? Whew, that ice cream was good, but let me tell you, I'm freezing my balls off right now. I know.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about because he is in England. I'm like, I think he's going to be cold from that, but you can just, wait a little bit longer if you want.
I'm pretty full and satisfied, although I can't lie, it would have been a lot better with a drizzle.
Did you hear what he said? He is full and satisfied. That's great. And you should be after that.
Big drizzle of salty peanut butter. Peanut butter on top.
This is an opportunity for me to say something about peanut butter, okay? Because peanut butter... I really recommend you get organic if you're going to have peanut butter because it can be one of the most contaminated foods there are because the peanuts are in the ground and they're using a lot of these like glyphosates, you know, finishing it with glyphosates, like herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, those sort of things. So you need to realize that if you look it up, they can be very contaminated. So don't have it because it can store in your body. Have organic for sure. Dinner. I know you like a bit of savory. We all like some savory at the end of the day. So we're going to have some nori, all right? Nori rolls. And I want you to reserve that coconut flesh from the coconuts in the morning. Yeah, so I did recommend he have the coconut flesh as well. So, you know, when I put it into Cronometer, I'm going to put it in like what I recommended, of course, just because that's what I recommended. But yeah, I know it's not always easy to get fresh coconut, so I get it. And put some strips into the nori wrap. You know, just a couple, fill it out a bit with vegetables, pack in the vegetables, get some greens in there. I did say pack in the vegetables, get some greens in there as well, and garlic butter. Got to get some garlic butter in there. Avocado. I know you love your avo. Me too. But garlic butter is delicious, and I'm going to give you the recipe for that. And it's very, very simple. That's going to add up to about 3,600 calories, which is what you said you're probably going to need for the day. So I based that again on the mental days being like around 50 calories. Okay, so just so you know. And each day varies on the frugivore diet, okay? It's going to be, you know, different recipes, a lot of variety, different. Yeah, so remember that. Each day varies. This is important. A lot of variety, like every day isn't the same. And so the spectrum of nutrients that you get is going to vary, okay? So your health should be assessed over the course of like, you know, weeks, months, years, like not over a single day. Remember that it's okay, you know, if you're like not hitting all your targets or something. And amounts of, you know, bananas and dates and everything. Okay, so over to you, Miles. That's your day. Do me proud.
I am well excited for the sushi. I'm going to warn you now that my sushi rolling is absolutely horrendous. I already know this is going to taste amazing. Usually I put a lot of greens in my smoothies, and usually lunch is a big like Buddha bowl with greens and stuff like that. This is my type of dinner.
Okay, so he said he eats a lot of greens, and with the recommendations to have more greens, I didn't actually realize he was going to put it into Cronometer. It's just like a casual kind of like, here's a little bit of an experiment with the diet, not a nutritional analysis, you know what I mean? So I didn't actually give measurements. So that would have been important, and it's my bad. I didn't give him, you know, exact amount of greens. Okay, but as you see, I eat greens. I recommend greens. He eats like a lot more than I do, obviously, so he should have a lot more than I do. But yeah, we'll talk more about it.
I would eat this like regularly for dinner.
I'm preparing dinner. I'm snacking on some of these.
If he was hungry, definitely he just needs to eat more. He just needs to eat more. That's all. You know, it's that simple. Just eat more fruit. Or at the meal, obviously the Datorade could have been even bigger. All right. It doesn't have to have extra fat added to it. Okay. That's not what's going to actually satisfy you as a human frugivore. Okay. It's not meeting your basic physiological needs. So yeah. Anyway, we can talk
green
more about it.
grapes.
So when it comes to garlic, I eat
First
the
we're gonna
garlic
make the
greens.
garlic butter, which is with
I eat the garlic greens. You know, I plant the garlic because I don't feel great eating the whole bulb. I don't recommend the whole bulb generally, but if you're okay with it, that's all right. But the greens is less intense.
macadamias, fresh garlic, and she said a little bit of salt water. So glad I can have a bit of salt. Didn't actually say how many macadamias.
Yeah, see, that's the
So I'm gonna
problem.
be
I didn't give the measurements, and I would have if I knew
Generous.
he was
Quite
going to
a
go.
bit of garlic, 2 cloves, a little bit of water.
You know, I kind of just like estimated, you know, from my experience, like, yeah, like based on what he said about 3,500, okay, it's going to be about this. So, well, that looks good. I would probably put a little less water for my own preference, so you can put it inside, not as a sauce, more of like chunky. But then that actually looks really good
This
too.
looks so thick and creamy. A little bit dangerous, living life on the edge. here.
Whoa! I think he did better than me actually.
That is absolutely beautiful. This could be a dressing for any kind of salad. Alright, we're making sun-dried tomato sauce. I fucking love them.
Tamarind paste. Cool, he's into it. I've never seen it like that liquidy, but I'm guessing it is like all tamarind up. Like I usually use like the whole, it could be cooked this one, but I usually use the whole paste of the tamarind. It's just kind of like mushed up together, but that's fine. Garlic, more dates to what
Did an extra sun-dried tomato.
He did so well with that.
I'm gonna put some of the sauce in before I roll. I think that's what it's for.
Okay, so yeah, that's tiny, Miles. You see, my ones are like stuffed. I sent Miles a photo like a stuffed one, but yeah, as you know, like I would put like way more. Like this would not be satisfying for me even.
Look at that.
Oh, that's a tiny one. I can see him struggling with the roll, but that's all right.
Add
You
the
get better.
greens in. I'm adding in some fresh rocket.
They are skinny little ones. No. They need to be like a burrito, like a thick, like boom. You want that, like, you know, satisfaction that's not going to be really satisfying. So I definitely recommend more things like apples. I usually have zucchinis and just more bulk, you know, microgreens even. And I usually have a green salad on the side, and I eat greens throughout the day. That's when it comes to greens. You know, I'm going to explain that more. But yeah, this is like a little bit of a skinny one.
Sauerkraut. Forgot to put it in the sushi, so
Okay.
just making up like a little bowl here. Some extra avocado.
Yes, it's got like a little sushi bowl going. Okay.
Always.
Now we're talking. Guys, you know this is my type of bowl. I will say,
I mean, that's not bad, right? But like, it does need more.
the sushi has kind of fallen apart. I made 3 rolls and just chopped them up. But all the ingredients that didn't fit in there, I've just added to this bowl.
He should definitely have 3 of these, really. Like that, like size of the nori rolls. They need to be like, yeah, like I said, they need to be much, much bigger.
Added some extra avocado.
This macadamia sauce, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, and more greens. Obviously, he is a big greens eater, so he definitely, I kind of thought he would eat more greens. But yeah, that's fine. Like, because I did add some greens, I wasn't like objective, so it is my fault. He'll be loving that part.
That sauce, that dipping sauce, honestly one of the nicest things I've ever tasted.
Wow, that's a pretty big like kudos for that sauce, right? I'm glad you enjoyed it, Miles. That's awesome. You got to try it. Everyone watching, you got to try it.
I'm still hungry. I mean, for me, that was a very small bowl to have for
Yeah. See, it was too small. It was too small because we didn't get the measurements, you know, to each other. Like I didn't give him the measurements. So you can see how that was like, I have to say that I was in the middle of the monsoon at the time when I was doing this. I could barely get the video to him. It was actually very difficult. So I must say it wasn't completely, you know, structured, like measured and, you know, have this much. So yeah, he definitely should have made bigger nori rolls.
dinner. Usually dinner is my largest meal by far, and I'd have like a lot more volume. Yeah, I'm still a little bit peckish. I mean, freely on WhatsApp, you did say that I could have tahini in my day somewhere, and I haven't so far. And I'm not even eating my own liquid gold tahini. This is some raw organic tahini and very
thick and sludgy tahini. But I think I'm going to put a dent in this because
It does actually look like the raw one. You know, like I'm questionable on whether these are raw, but it does look quite raw. Okay, but it needs to be preserved, and they usually cook it for preservation, storage, shelf life. But that one does look pretty raw, right?
it's still a bit peckish. Nowhere near as runny as liquid gold, but it will do.
Yeah, and he's not going to like it as much because, you know, when it's cooked, it makes it more yummy, of course. But then the fat is cooked and it's actually, you know, less healthy for you. That's for sure. It's better if you have it when it's fresh and raw.
Couldn't resist. I'm eating this cold sushi rice out of the pan.
Okay, you can see because he didn't get enough. He didn't get enough. He just needed to eat more. So you can see it's easy. He just needed to like really add in a lot more volume there.
Cheers.
So you plugged everything into Chronometer. Here's a list of all of the foods I ate that day, not necessarily in order. 30 medjool dates, a bag of frozen strawberries, the coconut water,
Okay.
the naked blue
We're going to check this out. Okay, I'm going to actually stop the video there. All right. Let's just go a little bit more and then I'm going to stop it. We're going to do a round 2. I'm going to give a breakdown of this breakdown.
grey muffin,
basically.
fruit and nut bar, 10 bananas, carob powder.
All right. So because this video will be so entirely long, I want to get to the nutrient breakdown. Okay. Because he has a bit of a problem with the nutrient breakdown. So I want to get to that in a single video. All right. So that's going to be tomorrow's video, or this video is going to be way too long and a lot of you are going to stop watching. So I want to get that at the front of the next video so you can hear my breakdown of the breakdown. All right. So I just want to say, awesome, Miles. I think you did a great job, okay? And you seem to enjoy everything. And he said he was being honest, like he enjoyed everything a lot. So I think this is fantastic, right? This was like a success. We'll talk more about like what he says afterwards in next videos. A bit of a cliffhanger there. So make sure you tune in for tomorrow's video where I'm going to talk about that. But overall, look delicious, right? Looks delicious and nutritious. Okay, so stay tuned for tomorrow. Don't forget to go fruit yourself, and I will see you tomorrow for part 2.